This can basically be summed up in gameplay as Valkyria Chronicles 1. Except I'm going to get to what they changed after I'm done reviewing the story. The story is basically the plot of the second arc of Fire Emblem X. That is, a bunch of rebels rise up against their own country, and you play the ones fighting them off. Except in this, somehow, the rebels are even bigger bastards than they were in Fire Emblem X. Because they're racists.
Oh.
Basically, it's the Civil War.
I see. I guess that's a good enough establishment for a plot.
Yeah, again, like most of these games, I haven't played much into it, so I can't really spoil much, but the plot is pretty stock standard, but I can't really say I'm surprised they chose this route because racism is, like in Fire Emblem, ironically, Fire Emblem 9 especially, rather big part of the plot in even the original.
Well, that's fair enough then. Would you say it's entertaining even if it's standard then? No.
Yeah, I would, because the execution is pretty different to the comparison point of Fire Emblem 10's second part, because you have nothing to do with the royalty. You're basically just the foot soldiers.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
Now, as for the gameplay mechanic they changed, I'm just gonna sum it up. They took out snipers. They took out snipers! My favorite class!
So you can no longer just stand on rooftops and then take people off there.
Yeah, and that's disappointing because in the first game, even before I got better sniper rifles, I could pull off some seriously amazing shots from across the map. That was fun. They took out snipers!
Oh, that does sound very, very harsh.
And they replaced them with armored techs. Basically, they're engineers that can take a hit. They already have engineers. They could have put snipers in, but no. They had to split engineer into two classes and take my favorite class out. What the hell, Sega?
Oh, it's Sega. Right, that makes sense. That's afraid it's an easy target, sorry.
Oh wow, that slipped right by me. But yeah, other than that, it's a decent game even though there are no snipers, and the plot is enjoyable. So, I may do more on it when I've played more of it, but that's pretty much my opinion on it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's 2 games. What's your last one, Sven?
Megaman 2.
Oh yes, I remember that well. I even did a playthrough on it, shameless plug.
Yeah. Let me tell you. You made it look easy.
I did? Huh.
Yes, you made it look easy. Then I played it. It was not easy. 2 words. Fucking firehouse.
Oh god.
I died 3 times to those things in Woodman stage.
Oh god, yeah, those bloody...
Yeah, and then there was Bubbleman stage.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine the frogs. I mean, those things were bloody terrible.
Yeah, the frogs. And then because I'm an idiot, I did something no one, I think, has done in 22 years.
Oh, really?
I died to Bubbleman!
Oh. Well...
I died fighting Bubbleman because I tried to use the leaf shield on him. It didn't work. I was thinking, Pokemon, he killed me!
I guess I could understand and... Actually, no, I'll be blunt, I can't understand. What were you thinking, man?
I was thinking of Pokemon for some ungodly reason. Grass versus water. It only made sense in my simplistic Neanderthal nerd mind.
Oh dear. Right.
Proving very simply that I am the worst Mega Man player ever.
I'm sure there's got to be someone else out there.
Who lost to Bubbleman?
So, did you enjoy it despite that?
It was masochistic fun, really. After I got past the humiliation of dying to Bubbleman, I can't repeat that enough. After I got past that humiliation, it wasn't terrible until I got to Wily's Fortress.
Oh, yeah, that's always a frustrating... Yeah, to be honest, the only reason I'm able to get through that even vaguely professionally is because I had so much practice from my first playthrough of dying over and over.
Yeah. Although, my problem seemed to be I never had enough energy for the wall climbers and the floaty platforms.
Oh, yeah.
And I always had to go back down and get more bloody energy.
Yeah,
for it.
I am so grateful for the later games like Megaman 9 and 10 where you got a mystery tank that refilled those, but...
Yeah, I'm thinking of playing Mega Man 10 after this because it has easy mode. Easy mode has got to be better than this.
It is, I will say that much, because I played easy mode after normal mode just to see what it was like and test out Proto Man because they kind of screwed him over in Mega Man 9, and yeah, I'd say it's definitely a little more bearable to say.
Yeah, I might try that because I still haven't beaten Mega Man 2. Oh, it's gonna traumatize me forever. And the thing is, I have a friend who plays Mega Man a lot. And he played Mega Man 4 and said it's harder than 2. My masochistic urges are just begging me to go play 4.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I have actually played Mega Man 4, and that was one of the many things I was tempted to do a playthrough with, and I'll say, yeah, it's incredibly hard because, A, because of something they do at the end, which I won't give away yet for plot reasons, and B, there are some robot masters that are cheap as hell. I'm looking at you, Bright Man, you bloody bastard!
The funny thing is, I think my friend mentioned Bright Man. People just hate Bright Man.
Yeah, there's a reason why. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. Okay, he has the power to freeze you, like Flash Man. Except on top of all of that, he also has a homing body slam that takes up a third of your health.
Good lord. Just good lord.
Yes.
Now I'm even more tempted to play it. I'm an idiot.
That's the problem with the Megaman. It kicks you about so much and yet you just keep coming back for more.
Oh, this sounds weird coming from me, but it's one of those moments like they mentioned in Who's Line. Oh, it hurts so good.
Yeah. Moving away from that slightly awkward note, is that all the games you've done?
Yes, after the quick fire shot by shot and the rants about all these last games. Yes, that is all I've played.
Okay then. There's one game I've been playing this month. I got it for Christmas along with a very comfortable beat bag, and it's been very hard for me to get that out of it. Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'm sure many of you have been wanting to hear my opinions on it since I've made no secret that I'm a Donkey Kong fanboy. So, let's just get straight to it. To give a quick summary of the story, basically, as is pretty evident in the trailer,
a volcano suddenly explodes on Donkey Kong Island one day, and out of it appeared these strange tribal heads known as Tikis, who, now this is going to sound weird, but just stay with me, are able to generate music with their bodies, which hypnotizes all of the animals around them. And so the animals start turning against Donkey Kong and gathering bananas, which leads to them stealing the banana horde. However, one of them basically breaks into DK's house and tries to hypnotize him, but unfortunately it kind of backfires since for reasons that aren't explained in the story, people have either said that DK's either too smart or too dumb, so yeah, that's something that's left up to you people. But yeah, for some reason the hypnotism doesn't work against DK, and so after kicking said Tiki out of the house and into the sky, DK goes off on an adventure with Diddy to save the day.
Wow, as strange as the whole generating music to hypnotize people thing is, it makes sense to me, which says a lot.
Yeah.
But as strange as that is, that actually sounds like a really solid base for a story.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say there is a massive amount of story to that, because essentially after that the cutscenes only appear in the boss fights at the ending, which is perfectly fine, and most of the time it's just them meeting new bosses, although you get a hint of what their plan is towards the end. The cutscenes are pretty cool anyway, because a lot of the enemies and characters are really expressive and they convey a lot of emotion, so it's actually pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean, like, in the Donkey Kong Country way, like in the original where they had all those humorous interjections, like the Kong's reactions to the boss.
Oh yes, yeah, that is exactly it. It's kind of that, but sort of take it to the next level, I would say.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's also pretty fun. And for those of you who are also vaguely interested in characters and continuity of that, only 2 animal bodies make an appearance, and Rambi's the only playable one. Squawks appears, but he's more of an interesting power-up. The only other Kong who appears besides Diddy is Cranky, and basically he operates the power-up shop, and rather amusingly he will always always have a snide remark to say every time you walk into the shop, every time you leave it, every single time you buy.
Oh, good old Cranky.
Yeah.
He never changes.
And also, if there's any people who feel that kind of using power-ups is cheating, don't worry, Cranky can base your motions to you, because every single time you buy either extra lives or invincibility power-ups, and mocks you by going, "Aw, do you want me to hold your hand too?" Or just mocking you by saying, "I'll give this 30 seconds until these balloons pop." Yeah, and I'll be honest, considering the difficulty level of this game, he's actually correct on many ways.
Oh, that's... I just love that already.
Yeah. Yeah, Cranky fits the bill, and he also has the traditional pay-on voice of "Hey!" So for those of you who like that, that's still there. And from Cranky, there do also come some nods to previous continuity as well, like, first of all, brought up again that he is DK's grandfather, so... Again, for those of you who are denying it, you're only fooling yourself! Anyway.
Basically, it completely circumvented everything Donkey Kong 64 said.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you gotta love it whenever fans, or a fan company, takes over a series, and does a better job on the continuity than the original guys did.
Pretty much, yeah. I could talk about Cranky all day, but there are other elements to talk about. Gameplay-wise, it's pretty much the same as Donkey Kong Country. It's a straightforward platformer. You get Diddy out of a DK barrel, you hover around bouncing to barrel count, etc, etc, etc. It's all the same things. There are some new elements though. The first one is motion controls. There's like 1 or 2 motion controls added for certain elements. There's the roll, which you activate by flicking the Wiimote down as you hold the directional pad forwards. And there is also DK's hand slap, which you activate by drumming the Wiimote together. And the hand slap actually plays a much bigger role in interacting with the environment, because you use it to bust open some cases and also activate switches and the like. There are some people who say that the motion controls do kind of interfere with the game, and much as it pains me to say this, I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, that after playing this game, will you people just grow the hell up already?
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there are some reviews complaining about the motion controls, and honestly, after playing through it, after beating the final boss, getting 100%, it's not the end, because the full is 200%, but there were some things that I thought could have worked better, which I will get to in a moment, but the motion controls were not one of them. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, the roll is broken now because you don't activate it by pressing a button." It's not like you have to make a circle with the Wiimote. You flick it once whilst pushing the joystick forward. You don't even have to build a distance before you roll. You just flick once, and there you go. It's a roll.
It's just the tendency of people to complain about the most nonsensical things, I think.
It's just something that's been going on all the while. Everyone always says, "Oh, you got the Wiimote controls. They're just so immense and breaking." No, they're not. You flick your wrist once and the character obeys. I mean, yes, there are some crappy Wii games, but that's the thing. They're badly made. When you've got a company like Retro or even Nintendo who actually, do know how to use the mouse and can just set it, then there you go. I mean...
Everything good?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to get that rant up, but honestly, the motion controls do not destroy the game in any way. The control system works perfectly well. I mean, I use Wiimote and Nunchuck, and I hadn't tried Wiimote on its side because that's the other option, but honestly, I didn't have a problem with it once. The controls were the least of my worries, to be blunt, because one gameplay element they have changed, both DK and Diddy have 2 hearts, so that they have to take 2 hits before they die, and for those of you who say, "Oh, that will probably make it too easy," it doesn't. Not at all. Because the difficulty has gone up, to the point where I think it's even on par with DKC 2, maybe even a bit above.
Good lord.
Yeah.
That's, good lord.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. I mean, I spent the whole month of December playing through all 3 Donkey Kong Country games again, and even go through the Lost World again, just to prepare myself to get used to the gameplay system so I could compare it and also the difficulty. My god, there have been many, many nights when I've played it and I had to unleash frustrated howls as I died again and again and again.
Like me with Megaman 2.
Yes.
How ironic.
Yes. We've both been suffering in our own way, and in a strangely pleasurable one at that. But again, out of this awkward